Hello viewers, welcome to another exciting episode of Sportlink, an international sport show that showcases Gambia and international sport news. We keep you updated with the latest sport news and previews. Stay tuned as we bring to you various sporting activities in the Gambia and around the world. Do join us as we celebrate sport personalities in the achievement in the Gambia sport arena. On today's newscast, we report on Cameroon's midfielder Patrick Ike has died at the age of 26 after collapsing on a pitch. Demba Savage has won the Swedish Cup title with BK Hakim. The defender Buba Sami has scored the winner for AC Horsens, who secured the next top-flight promotion. And finally, Modou Barrow has been voted as the Young Player of the Year at the Premier League club Swansea City. On this week's edition on Viewpoint, our panelists will discuss on Newcastle and Norwich City as both joined Aston Villa in relegating from the Premier League club after Sunderland won on Wednesday. We asked, will it be an easy road for them back to the top flight next season, and what has gone wrong for them? The former Senegalese striker Alhaji Diouf, on his recent visit to the Gambia, said Gambians to stop selling their players to other countries like Finland and Norway. Are you on the same view on this? On this week's edition on Sumo Legend, we will speak to Alhaji Omar Sy, former referee and a member of CAF. This and many more coming up on today's episode of Sportlink, and I am your presenter, Binta Jane.
Thank you very much for watching and welcome to another new edition of Sportslink News. I am Molwin Bia. But first, we begin with some sad news as Dynamo Bucharest and Cameroon midfielder Patrick Ekeng has died aged 26 of a suspected heart attack after collapsing on the pitch. Ekeng fell to the floor in the 78th minute of a televised Romanian league match between Dynamo and Viitorul and was pronounced dead in hospital 2 hours later. The Romanian Football Federation announced on Saturday the Romanian Cup final between Dinamo and Cluj will be put back a week to May 17th. It said all games scheduled for this weekend will be postponed. Ekeng had also previously played for Le Mans and Lausanne. May his gentle soul rest in perfect peace. Over to Sweden, where Scorpions winger Demba Savage guided BK Häcken to win their first major domestic title after defeating Parma Modu Konate's Malmö FF on penalty shootouts in the Svenska Cupen. The 27-year-old Gambia international joined Häcken in January when his contract with Finland's HJK Helsinki expired, and he has continued where he left off by getting his hands on more silverware. Savage, who starred the entire match, as did his compatriot Konate, scored at the Swedbank Stadium in Malmö in regular time before the match was settled through a 6-5 penalty shootout win to land the Waps their first ever piece of silverware. Savage and his Häcken will now enter the UEFA Europa League in the second qualifying stage as they look to reach the group stages of the tournament for the first time in their history. The former HJK Helsinki, FC Honka, KPV and GPA skillful winger has scored 3 goals in all competitions since moving to the Swedish Allsvenskan club. Elsewhere, defender Boubacar Sane scored the all-important winner for AC Horsens, who secured promotion to the Danish top flight with a 3-2 win over Skive AIK in a dramatic encounter. The match, played in front of 4,308 fans, saw Kjartan Finnbogasin open the scoreline at the Casa Arena Horsens, but the home side were pegged back in the 68th minute after Mikael Ure pulled level. They took the lead again through Matthias Nielsen, though it was short-lived as Andres Albech fired back to hush the home crowd. But it took a strike late in additional time from Gambia international Sane to set the stadium ablaze and secure promotion for Horsens to the Danish Super League after a 3-year absence. The 21-year-old, who is currently caught in interest from Danish top clubs, has scored 3 times in 25 league appearances. And finally, Gambia international winger Modou Barrow won the accolade of the Young Player of the Year at Swansea City's end-of-season awards on Wednesday evening at the Liberty. Barrow, who has made 22 appearances for the Swans in all competitions this season, was named winner of the award, sponsored by Travel House. Mo Barrow made history as the first Gambian to score in the Premier League in a 3-2 defeat at AFC Bournemouth in March, becoming the 95th different nationality to find the net in the top flight since clubs started shopping abroad. The 23-year-old, who showed his gratitude to the club and its supporters for winning the award, told Sportslink in an exclusive interview, "I want to give thanks to everyone at Swansea City for this award." He added, "The fans have been supporting me since I came here in September 2014, and to win this award is very special for me, my family, and friends. I would like to give thanks to everyone that has supported me and believed in me. The former Nottingham Forest and Blackburn Rovers loanee, who claimed an assist in Swansea's emphatic 4-1 win at West Ham United last weekend, will hope to cap off his season in style when they host Manchester City on Sunday.
Thank you very much, viewers. We are here with Suma Legend program. Today we are glad that we joined the platform by former FIFA and CAF referee Alhaji Omar Sy. He's going to talk to us about his personal career in both refereeing and the SJG award. Mr. Sy, welcome to the program.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be here.
We're glad that you joined with us today. So we're going to talk about briefly, how do you see the SJG award today?
I think they're doing a magnificent job. I think journalists have a great role to play in the promotion of sports generally. And it's been a long time that I've been advocating for it, and I commend Mr. Musa Sise, Lamin Cham, and a whole lot of the Gambia Sports Journalists Association for this great initiative. It's an encouragement, and also it's fitting for these people who have done sports, good job for sports in the Gambia. Everybody here is pleased, and we should all join in congratulating them for this very good initiative. Personally, I have been in sports virtually all my life. Since I was playing football in school, and then I became a referee, and then of course I became an international referee as well, joined CAF, FIFA executive committees, and I was the first chairman of the Gambia National Olympic Committee. So I have been in football and in sport generally. Yeah, sure. And I was also head of the Round Ball Association then, which grouped basketball, volleyball, and handball in the early 1960s. So I have been in it for a long time, and it's always a pleasure to be around where sports is, where sports is being discussed, and particularly these awards. The awards have been given to very fine sportsmen, past and present. People who have made tremendous contribution to the development of sports in the Gambia, and I commend the Sports Journalists Association for this initiative. Thank you very much.
Which is a kind gesture from the Sport Journalists Association. Where do you think this is going to help the upcoming ones who are trying to take sports in their careers?
Well, I think this is, as I say, it's an incentive, it's an inducement. Any young man or young lady watching this program, seeing these people being awarded and being appreciated by the whole sport journalist press, they will also say, okay, let me also do my best so that I can one day also be appreciated like these people have been appreciated. It's an encouragement and an inducement. I think it's good, and I wish them all the best, and I encourage them to continue in this direction. God help them, and we are behind them solid. That's why I'm here up to midnight, to give them encouragement and the necessary support.
We're going to shift a bit and talk about your personal career. Mr. Omar Sy, who spent the entire of his life in sport. With the current situation that we found ourselves in Gambia, all the experience was you were part of the former player, executive member, been part of CAF and FIFA. Still now you are a very important member of CAF, a very, very important instrument in Gambian sport too. Where do you think Gambia need to improve on with the experience that you derive from sports in the beginning of your career?
I think grassroots sports should be, that's where we should now go back to basis. I see much of it's being done, which is gratifying, and the organization and the development of talents, both in practice and in theory, the administration, all aspects, should move on together. It's being done, but we need to do more. And I'm glad to note that more efforts are being put into the development of sports generally. And the variety of sports is being opened up which also helps everybody, because not everybody is in football or in athletics or in basketball. There are other sports which are coming up, which also should be encouraged. And I'm glad to see that they are doing that.
Hello viewers, welcome to Viewpoint right here on SportsLink. Viewpoint is a segment created to discuss topical sporting issues and highlights. My name is Asitu Mbokum and I'll be your host. As usual, I have with me two gentlemen who are my colleagues and sports analysts, Molamin Bi and Pabaro. Welcome to the program, gentlemen.
Thank you very much.
Newcastle United and Norwich City has joined Aston Villa in relegating from the Premier League after Sunderland's won on Wednesday. So what do you think? Do you think it's going to be an easy road for them to get to the top flight next season, or what do you think went wrong?
Yeah, it's going to be difficult for the teams going into the championship, a very, very difficult competition, because all the teams that are competing there want to play in the Premier League, so that makes the competition very difficult. But I think I'm going in for Newcastle, the team that they have that relegated to the championship. If they can maintain that team, they have a very, very good players, some potential skillful players are in there. When they're in the championship, it will be easier for them to come back into the Premier League, but that will be unless when they can able to keep that players together. Remember, financial aspect also count very much, but those are players that you are paying them week in, week out, a lot of money in the Premier League. So will you have the same amount of money in the Champions League? That is the big question to ask.
Molamin Bi?
I think it's going to be very difficult for these three teams, because the championship is not an easy competition, you know. But it was actually a bit of a surprise, or a bit sad for Norwich City, you know, because they won against Watford 4-3. But even the win, even if they had won 100-0 against Watford, that was not a result that was going to be able to keep them. They needed Sunderland to lose, or at least draw, so they could have hope. But Sunderland won, and you know, credit to Sunderland and Big Sam. He did it once again, saving Sunderland from relegation. But it's going to be very, very, very difficult for Norwich, Aston Villa, and Newcastle from coming back. You know, it's a big shame for Rafa, you know, beginning its season with Real Madrid, a top club in Spain and in the world, and then relegating with Newcastle. Good luck, and hopefully they can bounce back.
Thank you very much, gentlemen. Our next topic. Former Senegalese striker Elas Diouf, on his recent visit to the Gambia, advised the country not to be selling their players to countries like Finland and Norway. So what do you think? Do you share the same view with him?
Yeah, I think I'm in line with him in some aspect of it, because looking at the nature of the our players that we are playing is always contributed into when you come into the qualifiers, even into the test games, both World Cup and AFCON qualifiers. Normally we have a problem there. I think that is all down to the playing in Scandinavia, that's Finland, Sweden, and even Norway. So because when you look at their league, are not competitive like the other leagues in Europe. You can compare them with the La Liga, Premier League, and even the French league.
I'm going to keep it short and simple. I disagree 100% with those statements. Why? Because each and every player has a starting point, and the starting point is Sweden, Finland, Norway, or even you know, somewhere in Africa. You know, we all know is that our league is one of the poorest league, you know, across the continent. No disrespect though, but it's just been, you know, I'm just being straightforward here. And our league is an amateur league, not a professional one. Players or bigger clubs will look for players from professional leagues, you know, and one point where we can start sending players direct to the English Premier League is when we make the league professional. No disrespect, we had players who were sold from Gambia straight to the English Premier League, like Arthur Gomez, like Omar Koroma, who signed for Portsmouth, and Arthur with Manchester United straight from Hawks. But where did they end up? You know, credit to those players, but where did they end up? You know, sometimes it's too early to be making such moves, because you're a young player making such a move, and then what happens if you don't break through into the first team? Your contract ends up being terminated, and you know, who knows where your future will lie. So Sweden, Denmark, Finland is a good country for our players to start. It all depends on the maturity and the mentality of the player. If you are strong enough and you have a goal, each and every player playing football should have a goal. And if you have that goal, look at Odion Igalo playing for Watford. You know, he came from Nigeria, then went to Norway, and then now he's playing for Watford in the Premier League. Look at even Modou Barrow, you know, that we own as a Gambia international player. He left Gambia, went to Sweden, and in the Premier League. So credit to Elas Diouf, he's a top player, he's a top personality, but I disagree. Thank
you very much, gentlemen, for that beautiful insight. Thank you very much, viewers, for joining us on this edition of Viewpoint. Join us next week for another exciting edition. I have been your host, Asitu Mbokum.
Thank you very much, viewers, for watching this episode of Spotlink. You can also catch this episode on our YouTube channel on Affinity TV or go to our website on affinitypro.com. Or better still, follow us up next week for another exciting episode. Sponsors are also invited. From the entire Affinity crew, do have a wonderful night, and I am your presenter, Binta Jane.